Thank you, Father Damien. Welcome back, Father James, Kevin and Maureen, including tonight. Past, present, and future inductees of the Hall of Fame. Distinguished and accomplished faculty, the DeMatha family, and guests. Welcome. It is a privilege and an honor to have attended DeMatha High School, to have graduated from DeMatha High School, and to have been invited back to teach business law and economics back 80 to 83 here at DeMatha. I was privileged to go to law school and to be invited back by John Whalen and be allowed to coach the mock trial program here. Years ago, and also to be able to continue to do that under the guidance of Dr. McMahon. I would like to acknowledge a few people in the few moments I have up here this evening. First of all, most importantly, I'd like to acknowledge Rich Macheski. Rich Macheski, many, many years ago, initiated the mock trial program here at DeMatha. And when I first started, I guess about 19, 20 years ago, it was a great resource for me to talk to about re-initiating the program here. John McConnell, who is not here tonight, he just called me before the dinner started, who is the current faculty moderator and soccer coach here at DeMatha, I think freshman or JV level. Great inspiration to the young men who currently participate on the team, and he is clearly going to be one of the pillars of DeMatha in the faculty in the years to come, in my opinion. I also wish to acknowledge Morgan Wooten. As Mike did, I could reiterate what he said. But you know, it was Morgan who taught world history here, and I was in his class and had my first public speaking experience in his class. Any of you who had his class knew at the end of the year you had to do a project. And I worked hard on my project. At least I thought I worked hard on my project. And I got up and I finally did my presentation on the Korean War. And at the end, Morgan said, "Fine job, son. You got a D." And I said, I saw Morgan after class. I said, "Mr. Wooten, I tried real hard." And he said, "Son, you had the wrong side winning the war." I would also like to, I've since figured out which side won. I'd also like to acknowledge Tony Photos, who's going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame tonight. Tony, I was privileged to be a colleague of his when I was teaching here, but as a student, Tony taught me how to focus. You see, if you had detention in had detention when Tony was proctoring the detention hall, he would put a dot on the middle of the board, and you would have to focus on that dot for hours and hours and hours. He also gave me one driving lesson. Supposed to have more than that. I'll have to save that story for another evening. I'd also like to acknowledge John Whalen. John Whalen is, you may know, started out here as a French teacher and a counselor, and he was a counselor for me. He used a lot of reverse psychology that allowed me to go on to college, although we didn't both think that was possible at the time. And he did give me the privilege and honor to be a teacher here back in 83. And of course the late, great Buck Hoffman. I guess back when I was a sophomore or junior, he told me I couldn't write a sentence. By the time I graduated, I believe I could. I think he did as well. God bless my wife and I, Terry, with, and I know it's been 41 years. Blessed us with 4 daughters. But I am pleased to, my grandson Thomas is a senior, class of 2012. I'm honored that he's here tonight with us to see us get these various awards here. Hopefully, with the prayers to St. John DeMatha, increased donations on my part, his younger brother Patrick, who has his grandfather's academic skills, will be coming here in a couple of years. Okay, here we go. The mock trial team participates each year is sponsored by the Maryland State Bar Association. There are several districts, circuits judicial circuits within the state. We here at DeMatha belong to the 7th Judicial Circuit, which includes all the schools in St. Mary's, Calvert, Charles, and Prince George's County, about 36 schools. We have quite regularly achieved the level of winning the 7th Judicial Circuit competition. Back in 2001, we ended up going all the way to the state championship. In order to do that, a problem is issued by the Maryland State Bar Association. Students have to form teams of prosecution and defense teams. We have 3 attorneys on each side, 3 witnesses on each side. In the particular year, 2001, we effectively beat 130 schools throughout the state of Maryland. We went to Annapolis for the semifinals on an overnight trip, and then also for the final match before the Court of Appeals, which is the state Supreme Court here. We were undefeated, winning 12-0. At this time, I'd like to call Tim Kelly up forward. Tim Kelly was the faculty moderator here, and he's also a soccer coach and wrestling coach, and his skills and ability with the young men was paramount in our being successful. And at this time, he's also pursuing his PhD, which he hopes to get here very shortly, and that he is in the Fairfax Public Schools. At this time, I'm going to call up the members of the team. We're fortunate to have 8 members of the team here tonight. Some couldn't make it because they're in med school. Somebody's having their wife's having a child either today or tomorrow. As much as I try to impress upon them, things are important here at DeMatha. He opted to not go. Franny Granados. If you could come forward, Franny. Franny is a practicing attorney with the law firm of Mudd and Fitzgerald in Charles County. He was a star on the program. You knew it back then in 2001 that he was going to be an attorney. Charles Day Texera, also an attorney from that practicing attorney in Manhattan, New York at this time. Jimmy Dillon. He was a intern here at DeMatha. He was one of our star witnesses and stepped forward a couple times to be one of the attorneys when somebody couldn't be there. He's a teacher now in Manhattan, New York. Sean Curran, who was a graduate of 2003. Sean was a key witness, and in the subsequent years, after this team won the state championship, he was a leader and a great contributor to the other teams. Ashwin Sobrania is not here tonight. He wanted to be here, but he couldn't make it. Pat Curran is another person who is not here, who was a key witness on the team. He is in Wisconsin pursuing a PhD program. Fred Roner, he's here, came in as a witness and was excellent in that role. And he was a great contributor to the 2002 team as well. Paul Clark, again, a key player on the team. He is now currently a faculty member here at DeMatha High School. Alon Pickler, he was a freshman at that time, but a member of the team, and also was a key member in the subsequent years after the 2001 state championship. Adam Dow, I think, is the one who, Adam Dow is the individual who is in med school, and his wife's having a baby, and he couldn't make it today. And then Matt Hetrick, key player and attorney on the mock trial team. The last match, in 11 matches, we had introduced one witness as a expert who I didn't think was supposed to be an expert. And at 11 o'clock the night before the final match, I was convincing Matt that we had to have a plan B, and we needed that the next day. And Christopher Marrow, who was a key witness. He was the head of the case was about a toxic waste company, and he was the one that owned the toxic waste company. And then Adam Higgins, who I don't believe is here tonight. And I want to thank the parents of the mock trial team. I was going to name a couple of them, but they're all here tonight. They were tremendous and a tremendous support. And I thank you all for this wonderful honor, and I thank the Hall of Fame committee. Thank you very much.